Okay, I'm going to attempt to do a little video for you on how the GO system works. So this is what you call being a dog and a pony show, because I have my camera standing on a table and I'm behind it, so you'll never see my head, and that's okay. I've chosen 3 different fabrics to use for the dye that comes with your GO system, and I want to show you that. This is the dye that comes with it. It's a triple dye. You have a 2.5-inch square, a 4.5-inch square, and 4 cutouts of a 2-inch triangle finished. You also get this little tool that helps you pick out things, pick out fabric from your dye. If it gets caught in there, you can just take the little pokey, pick it out, and pull it out. I found that it's really useful, and it's not difficult at all. So here's your dye system, your GO system, and it just opens up as so. That's all there is to it. No rocket science. And I'm going to lay my dye down. Now I have 1 piece of fabric folded up, and I'm going to lay it over the 2-inch dye segment, the 2.5-inch dye. Now this is my triangles, and I've paired 2 different fabrics together to lay over that, so I will cut those and they'll be ready to sew. And then I'm going to cut my 4.5-inch squares right here. So I'm going to lay that right over my dye. This is the plastic cutting mat that you put over the dyes to roll them through the system. You can use either side. I've already used this several times. I've made a couple of quilts now off it, and I've demoed non-stop with it, and it's still good. So I'm going to just go ahead and set that in. Then I'm going to show you that this is a very wobbly table. This is just one of those little Walmart fold-up tables. Has very little strength and moves around a lot. So I thought that that would be best to show you how this system works, since it kind of is very mobile and there's questions about the mobility and sturdiness of the system. The system is extremely sturdy. The table I'm on is not. So I've moved it up, and now all I'm doing is cranking it. And as you can see, I'm holding it down with my left hand, and my thickest amount of fabric is right here in my 4.5-inch block. And it's under the cut right now. And that's the hardest amount to crank, and as you can see, it's not particularly hard. I'm doing it one-handed. I switch my hand over just to try and keep my table sturdy. Your cutting table at home is probably a lot more sturdy. Now once I have it through, all I have to do is lift up my die cutting mat. And as you can see in this case, that came up with it, and one of my triangles stuck to it. I'm going to lay that back down, and I'm just going to pick up the excess fabric and toss it. And here's my triangles. I can break them apart. I have my paired triangles ready to sew. That's pretty cool. And they're dog-eared. And I have, right now, I have 2, 4, 6, 8 complete triangles that will form 2-inch squares. Here's my squares. As you can see, they are beautifully cut, every one of them. And I have 6 of these cut. I cut my 4.5-inch square, and there it is. And there are 6 4.5-inch squares cut as well. Well, there are 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to see, they're perfect. There's nothing wrong. That was 6 layers of fabric. Okay. Now, look, I have enough that I want to run 1 more through, so all I have to do is reverse it, and I can get those cut out of that little bit of scrap. There we have it. Pull it off, and there's 3 more triangle, 4.5-inch squares. So that's really how hard it is. This is scrap, as you can see, not a whole lot of waste. You might get a little more than you would with your rotary cutter, but it was a lot easier on my hands. And as you can see, this is what's left. Here's what my die looks like after it's done. If there's anything stuck in it, I would just pull it out. And it's cool. It's totally cool. I'm done. I just have to close it up and hide it away. And that's it. Ta-da.